George Kontos. What's up, Giants pre and post? Saw him with the Zoom camera on Sunday. New father. I can't wait to see the drip this season.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, not there. Remember we said congrats a couple weeks ago.
Well,
only one
congratulations.
congrats. Yeah, all right. Congrats again. What's up, George? How's it going changing them diapers?
Oh man, good morning, fellas. How we doing? It's going well. You know, I have this really unique ability to sleep through fire alarms, hurricanes, whatever. So, I mean, outside of a little maybe 5 or 10 minute diaper change in the middle of the night, my wife's been a champ, and she's been the one kind of doing all the things, taking care of the baby at night. But I'm sure at some point that'll change.
No doubt about that. All right, man. Let's get to the Giants. Man,
I give it a couple months.
Crazy. Yeah, give it a couple
months.
months.
She'll hit the wall, and then good luck.
Well, you'll be all right. It's not that bad for us, Joe.
I'm at the nuclear poop stage right now, and it's not good.
No, that's nothing. That's nothing until you potty train your kid. Yeah. My daughter's taking. I don't even want to say that. She's got the potty. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Giants Nationals.
I haven't heard of Michael Irvin in so long.
Giants lose last night 8-1. Well, let's start with Blake Snells. Made his debut for the Giants yesterday. Pitched 3 innings. Thought he had some good strikeout stuff. What was your thoughts on Blake Snells' first start as a member of the San Francisco Giants?
Well, for a guy who, you know, had a significantly abbreviated spring training, this was the first time I would imagine he's faced big league hitters in any sort of kind of pressure situation. So I thought the stuff looked really good. I mean, I heard you mention that he was nibbling. I'm not sure if he's a nibbling kind of pitcher. I think it's just, this is my stuff. This is what you're going to get every single pitch that comes out of his hand. I mean, the guy was 94, 98, threw some really, really good sliders and curveballs. You know, he threw a couple changeups that he kind of pushed and then came right back to him, backed it up with another really good changeup. There were a lot of things I thought to be really encouraging out of his start. You know, he went full count or a three ball count on the first 6 guys, which I don't think is what we're going to come to hopefully expect. But we know this guy throws a lot of pitches. He's going to walk some guys, but he's going to get out of some jams. So, I mean, the fact that he was up to 98, pitching with the second and third decks, the lights, you know, a guy wearing a different uniform, standing 60 feet, 6 inches away from him. I think all of that, considering for his first start, I was happy with what I saw.
Yeah, the only reason I said nitpicking is because that's what he had referenced in the postgame, saying that he was trying to be too precise. But whatever. I do think that, you know, the leadoff walks, he just does that. That's what he does. And so he's going to have to obviously, you know, adjust from there. What's your make on this lineup right now? Because I'm looking at this team, and although they've got obviously better names in the lineup, they still don't have a stolen base this year. They're one of the only teams in the league that doesn't have a stolen base. Their batting average is below what it was even a couple of years ago in 2021 when they went on a historic run. It just feels like they don't have a lot of pop up and down that lineup either. So where do you go with this lineup right now?
You know, I'll tell you what, being 11 games in on this, I think that this lineup has the capacity to do a lot of damage. You know, I mean, you're talking about Chapman, who we brought in the lineup. You're talking about Soler, who's off to a little slow start. I mean, Conforto had an off day, and that was a big omission from that lineup yesterday because he's been swinging the bat really, really well compared to last year. I mean, it's incredible to see what a year of healthy, not having to worry about an injury, getting your feet back under you can do. This is the kind of player that we saw early in his career, and he's kind of picking it up right where he left off. Jung-Hoo Lee, I mean, the lineup top to bottom, 1 through 9, is actually really good. And I know that it's underperformed a little bit in the first 11 games, but that's why you play 162. I mean, they could run off 7, 8, 9, 10 game win streak in a row, scoring 5, 6, 7 runs a game, and we forget about this conversation that we're having right now, you know?
What do you think of just right field in general? Obviously, Slater and Yastrzemski have been really struggling right now, and just the at-bats haven't looked great for Mike Yastrzemski. Obviously, the results haven't been either, but I don't know. What's the adjustment that he needs to make?
You know, I think obviously Mike has proven that he can play at a high level at this level, right? We know that he was an all-star. We know what he's capable of doing, but the league has seen him now, and he's been around for a long time, and he has the ability to make that adjustment. But I definitely do agree with you. I think right field definitely needs to it's something that there should be an eyebrow perked. I mean, he's putting the work in. It could just be getting himself on a roll. You know, sometimes you need a little blooper to fall. Sometimes you need to hit the ball hard, even if it gets caught somewhere. Maybe he laces one the other way. Maybe he pulls one down the line just to get your confidence going, because regardless of how long you've been in the league, whether you're a rookie, whether you're a guy who's been there doing it for a long time, the in-between the ears part of the game is very fickle and finicky, and sometimes you just need one thing to go your way before you can start going on a tear. But I do agree with you. I think that right field, we definitely have to get something going. Mike Yastrzemski is much too good of a player to kind of have the numbers in the line that he's showing right now.
Two-time World Series champ George Kontos on the line with his former Giants reliever. Of course, now an analyst on the NBC Sports Bay Area with Giants pre- and post-game with Laura Britt, Colors Ramirez and company. So what do you do when you're in a slump? Like if you're a pitcher, if you're having a rough go of it, Kontos, what is the things that Mike can do while he's in this terrible run? I know it's not just Mike. It's Estrada. He struggled. Chapman is struggling, although he's had some good ABs and clutch situations. What is it that a major league player could do to kind of get away or just kind of clear his mind to try to get out the slump?
Well, as hard as this is to say, because anybody who's played at the top level of their sport kind of understands what I mean by this. But it's like the movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where he's trying to get those surfing lessons from Paul Rudd, where he's trying to do too much, and Paul Rudd's just like, no, do less. No, do less. You want to, when you're struggling, do everything you can to do more and to work harder, because your brain automatically tells you that if I work harder, the results will come. If I do more, the results will come. You need to get in your routine, and you need to try not to worry mentally about what that upcoming next at-bat, what that next game is going to bring. Something that Madison Bumgarner did so well in his career is he was able to just stay in the moment in every pitch. And it's very difficult to do, especially when you're struggling. But the advice that I would give to Yaz or anybody who is scuffling right now on either side of the ball is to try and just stay focused in the moment. As a hitter, see the ball, hit the ball. Try and put a good swing on this pitch. So as difficult as that is, sometimes the easiest way is to just reset and just get back to basics. See the ball, hit the ball.
George, you had Posey forever, so, he's one of the greatest catchers the Giants have ever seen. And I'm looking at Pat Bailey, and he showed a lot of promise defensively last year. But early on this year, he's kind of been all over the place. Is that to be expected with a lot of new arms out there? Or are you seeing something that maybe, setup-wise or some sort of fundamental thing that he's doing wrong right now? Because it just seems like he's kind of a little lost defensively, which I didn't see coming this year.
Well, to your point, he is seeing quite a few different pitchers, right? Blake Snell, that was probably the first time that they've worked together outside of maybe a bullpen. They didn't have that time to get that rapport in some sort of game-type situation. Some of the guys in the bullpen, he's getting to know for the first time and how they operate under pressure and in stress situations. Yesterday, a couple times, actually, Patrick Bailey last year was so good at is he starts with his glove low and then he brings it up and he steals that low strike. And a couple times yesterday, I noticed that he was doing that, but the ball kind of was clanking around in his glove, and he wasn't catching it and sticking it the way he normally does. Again, we're 11 days in. There's no way, in my opinion, that he's just regressed defensively from what we saw last year. I'm not worried about it. I do think that with time and with repetition, seeing all these new guys, that'll come. Again, we're 11 games in. It's a long season, and if we're talking about this through April and these things are still happening, that's when I would maybe have a little bit of a red flag kind of popping up. But I still think we're in that kind of the buffer phase of the season.
Real quick on the catchers just in general, every single guy in the bigs right now is doing the one knee down. I'm getting real nuanced here, but like it's different than what I was taught growing up, which was the Johnny bench. You're in the squat and you move around left and right. One knee down to accept that low strike. Does that change anything for the pitcher? Like, what's your thought on that for these catchers setting up for that low strike?
Well, the only time that I would ever expect to see the one knee down is on a fastball. Because if you're trying to get any sort of breaking ball, which I haven't seen, and maybe I haven't seen every game, obviously, or every pitch thrown, but if you have a breaking ball called and you have one knee down, there is very little chance that you're going to be able to block that ball to both ways, to both sides on how that first hop is if it goes in the dirt. So it wouldn't really bother me. I had Francisco Cervelli when I played in Pittsburgh who did the one leg way out to the right to basically have his butt on the ground. So I've seen a lot of different kind of variations, but the one knee down to receive a fastball or a changeup down in the zone wouldn't bother me. If there was something where it was happening when the ball was expected to be maybe in the dirt and it got by a catcher, that's when it's like, hey, man, this is my run. Let's try and do a better job blocking. But I don't think that it's happening in those types of situations, because with the one knee down, you have significantly less ability to get down fast.
Interesting stuff here. George Kontos, leave you with this one. Kyle Harrison starting tonight First two starts, obviously, against the Giants or against the Padres and the Dodgers. The Dodgers one didn't go so well for him, but that's his first start at Dodger Stadium against that lineup. He's pitching tonight against the Nats, 1-1, 4.91 ERA. Early returns on Kyle Harrison. What's your thoughts on him? Because I love the kid. I think the kid's going to be a stud.
You know what? I can't agree more with you. I think that his demeanor is great. He doesn't get flustered. The one thing that I really want to see is we know how good the fastball is. We know that 93, 95, 96 plays way up when he throws it at the top of the zone because he spins it really nicely. It's got that good deceptive carry, that late life or induced vertical break, as the drive line people might want to call it. If he could just continue to refine and get more consistent with that breaking ball and that changeup and throwing them in fastball counts and keeping hitters off that fastball, I agree with you. I think the kid's a stud, and I think that he's got the makeup and the tools and utensils to really be good for a long time at this level. And I just want to see him continue to grow with that off-speed stuff.
Yeah, same here. George, always good hearing from you. When you coming back to the Bay Area, man?
My first series is the one at home against Arizona, so I'll be there the 18th to the 24th, covering my first games after the small little paternity leave that I've gotten here.
Yeah, no doubt. Diamondbacks, good team, man. That'd be a fun series. Nice little barometer for the Giants there. George, always appreciate the time, brother. Take care, man. Keep changing those diapers. Tell the wife we said hi. Good luck out there, man, changing those diapers left and right.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Talk soon.
Anytime. The one thing, too, with the baby,